The following procedure will show how to quickly and easily use the SWEDGE-LOK system to permanently repair a leaking AC or heating cooling system line. With the system now properly emptied, you are ready to begin your repair. Use a tubing cutter or similar tool to remove up to 1 inch of the tubing at the leak point. Make sure you have a minimum of 1.5 inches of straight tubing on each side of the cut tube to allow enough room to fit the union and collar. Next, use a file to square and clean the edges of the tube. This will allow the tubing to fit completely inside the SWEDGE-LOK union body. If necessary, use a deburring tool to lightly remove any burrs on the inside diameter of the tubing. Use an abrasive pad to roughen up the outside of both ends of tubing about 1 inch back from the end. Using a clean cloth, wipe off any residue left over from cleaning. You may also want to use a cotton swab to remove any filings or metal shavings that may have entered the end of the tubing. Next, select the correct size SWEDGE-LOK union. This can be done by test fitting the aluminum body over one of the cut ends for a tight fit. With the proper size union now identified, assemble the SWEDGE-LOK tool according to the included instructions with the jaws specific to the union size you will be using. With the SWEDGE-LOK sealing compound, it is extremely important to apply one small drop and no more to each end of the tube. Gently spread the sealer over the outer circumference of the tubing, leaving about 1/8 inch on the cut end dry. Now take the SWEDGE-LOK union body and rotate each end onto the ends of the tubing to make sure the sealing compound is evenly distributed. Insert the SWEDGE-LOK body and collar, with the step portion of the collar pointing away from the body, into the jaws of the SWEDGE-LOK tool. Hand tighten the cross screw until it holds the entire SWEDGE-LOK union in place snugly. Make sure the collar lines up with the cut steps in the jaws for perfect alignment. Before proceeding to close the first side of the union, make sure that the union is held snugly between the jaws of the SWEDGE-LOK tool and is aligned so the step portion of the collar fits correctly together with the steps on the jaw. Also see that the collar is oriented straight and will slide over the compression ring on the body. Insert the SWEDGE-LOK tool with the SWEDGE-LOK union over one of the cut ends of the tubing, collar first, and then into the body, making sure the tubing is completely bottomed out in the body. If the tubing is not bottomed out in the SWEDGE-LOK body, there is a possibility that the SWEDGE-LOK union could leak under pressure. Using either a 19mm wrench, 3/8 drive ratchet, 3/8 drive air ratchet, or 3/8 drive impact wrench, rotate the cross screw clockwise. This will move the jaws of the SWEDGE-LOK tool towards each other and force the collar over the compression ring of the SWEDGE-LOK union until the end of the collar is flush with the ridge of the body. Next, gently rotate the cross drive screw counterclockwise to loosen and slide the SWEDGE-LOK tool off of the assembled SWEDGE-LOK union. To complete the splice, slide another collar over the unclosed end of the union body with the step portion of the collar pointing away from the body. Insert the remaining tube end into the body until it completely bottoms out in the SWEDGE-LOK union. At this last step, external pressure may be required to hold the tubing in place. Install the SWEDGE-LOK tool over the body and compression ring and make sure the stepped portion of the collar is aligned correctly with the cut steps in the tool jaw. Hand tighten the cross drive screw until it is snug, and then use the same method as before to rotate the cross drive screw and close the collar over the compression ring of the body. Make sure the end of the collar is flush with the ridge of the body without over tightening. Refill the system per OEM instructions and test for leaks. The repair is now complete.